In this video, I want to go over potentially yet another PlayStation 5 exclusive being revealed very soon, this one coming from Square Enix, another Final Fantasy game. We'll talk about that. Scarlet Nexus has gotten a brand new trailer celebrating the release of the demo on Xbox One and Xbox Series. It'll be coming to PS4 and PS5 in just a week, and Ys 9 Monstrum Nox has gotten an update on PlayStation 5, and it fixes some issues and also brings forth 4K resolution support. More on that at the end of this video, but first of all, Square Enix is working on a new PlayStation 5 exclusive Final Fantasy game, and it's likely to be revealed at E3 next month. This is coming from Navtra, who previously revealed a large portion of the announcements that would later be made at the first PlayStation 5 software showcase back in June of 2020, and also leaked Square Enix's plan to release PlayStation exclusive Marvel's Avengers DLC, so they've been on point with Square Enix reveals. And in August of 2020, prior to Final Fantasy XVI's announcement, they also revealed that the game would be a PlayStation 5 timed exclusive. Remember, there was that kerfuffle with the demo, or with the trailer, so to speak, where at the end of the trailer referenced the PC release, but then Square Enix came out and said that that was a mistake, and that PlayStation 5 was the only platform that they could talk about at that point. I wouldn't be all too surprised if FF16 did ultimately see a release on PC. Nevertheless, we do know that Square Enix is going to be a part of the E3 2021 event that'll be held in June, and it'll be an all-digital event, and Navtra said that the company could be gearing up to reveal yet another new PlayStation 5 title, noting, quote, "I believe you can expect at least one more major FF announcement in addition to updates on the currently announced stuff. That includes Final Fantasy XVI, Endwalker, Final Fantasy VII Remake. It should be a good E3 season for Square overall." Later, they also posted, "I don't know their exact E3 schedule, but I'm guessing based on knowledge of what games they have in development, how far in they are, and their target release date, so take it all with a grain of salt. I believe we're getting two major SE reveals this June, SE being Square Enix, a PlayStation 5 exclusive Final Fantasy title, and a cross-gen title on top of that." Dang! Square Enix seemingly really putting their eggs into the Final Fantasy basket, but I don't really blame them all too much for that. Final Fantasy has been a core pillar for them, and, you know, with a lot of their Western titles that they've been putting out, whether it be, you know, an Avengers, a Quiet Man, they haven't been panning out too well, so the idea of Square Enix doubly focusing on Final Fantasy, I don't think that's the worst idea in the world, especially if Sony's willing to pay Square Enix a lot of money for timed exclusivity on those titles. I mean, you would have to think that they would be deep into the 7, maybe 8-figure range for this timed exclusivity agreement. Then Square Enix is making a healthy chunk of change, and then you're talking about game sales on top of that, and those games are going to sell incredibly well. Again, we know Final Fantasy XVI is coming. We know Final Fantasy XIV is getting a new expansion later this year, and Endwalker, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is coming out, and then you also have to know the fact that Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 is in development. That's a lot of Final Fantasy content they've got on their plate, and then you can talk about all the spin-offs and everything like that, and if you're talking about a new cross-gen title and a new PlayStation 5 exclusive FF title on top of that. Now, I don't know if that exclusive FF title is FF7 Remake Part 2. I don't think it is. I think it's a different title entirely. But who knows, you really didn't get clarification on that. However, you do have to think about, is FF7 Remake Part 2 a currently announced game? I mean, we know it's coming. They already said they're working on it, but it hasn't had like a formal trailer or anything like that. So that is something to think about as well. However, following up the release of Final Fantasy VII Intergrade and right away revealing a FF7 Remake Part 2 trailer, I actually do think that makes a lot of sense, and I think that would get people very excited. We'll see how everything turns out, but you also have to think about that cross-gen title as well, so PlayStation 4 and maybe even Xbox One owners aren't left in the dust. Who knows if, you know, Sony's gonna bid for timed exclusivity on that as well. I wouldn't be all too surprised, since it does seem like Sony's wanting to spend a lot of money on software, and Microsoft used a significant amount of money to acquire Bethesda. You'd think Sony would try to counteract that a little bit. I'm not big on timed exclusivity. I think it's kind of lame. Either go the full-on wave and try to get an exclusive all to yourself, or even try to acquire a studio. I mean, trying to acquire Square Enix, that would be kind of a grandiose undertaking, and that's probably not even something Square Enix is open to. But who knows on that, so Sony probably thinks it's a little bit more of a feasible route of getting timed exclusivity. Again, we don't know if FF16 is going to be a timed exclusive, but it would make sense if it does see a release on PC at some point, since Square Enix has been very much in the PC market, releasing Kingdom Hearts on the Epic Games Store. You would have to think FF7 Remake eventually makes its way to PC, so a bunch of moving pieces, but we should get a lot of clarity on things to come as we head closer and closer to E3, which, by the way, is next next month. Yes, it is pretty much the end of May at this point. We got another week and a half or so left. Then we head into June, then we head into the big game releases, and then we head into a lot of stuff going down, so that's going to be pretty exciting. Keeping on theme with the JRPGs, Scarlet Nexus has gotten a brand new demo trailer. So this demo is available right now on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S, so you can play it over there if you do have any of those consoles. Check it out. The game itself looks pretty good from this demo trailer. From what I've heard, the next generation version will be running at 4K and 60 FPS. It's not like this game is like a technical juggernaut or anything like that, so 4K 60 FPS isn't all too surprising. I mean, it looks fairly good, but yeah, 4K 60 is definitely going to be something nice to check out in this game on next-gen platforms. I believe on current gen it will be 1080p 30. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 version of the demo is due out to drop on May 28th, so keep that in mind, but this should be one to get pretty excited for. There will be a plethora of editions. You can get the Guardians edition, I believe it's called, so that's like a special edition, so you can check that out as well. And lastly, I do want to note, Ys 9 Monstrum Nox Update 1.02 is out now. It includes PlayStation 5 4K resolution support and fixes some of the lingering issues, noting added support for 4K resolution for PS5, fixed an issue where the text speed setting wasn't working as intended, fixed minor text issues, fixed minor graphical issues, and fixed other minor issues on top of that. Ys 9 was released back in February of this year, and it is scheduled to come out on PC later in the year, I believe later in the summer, so that is something to note as well. Ys has been one of the most consistent JRPG franchises. Ys 8 is something that I always recommend. I always recommend if you're a fan of JRPGs, go back and play Ys 8. It's been going on sale pretty regularly, and you can get it for like $19 and change. Ys 9 obviously just came out, so it's still going for a premier $60 price point. I think only like the deluxe edition is going on sale, but it is a game worthwhile and definitely one to keep on your radar. And now 4K resolution support on PS5 definitely adds a little bit of incentive to play it on there as well. And that's gonna wrap up this one. Again, if the PlayStation 5 is getting yet another Final Fantasy exclusive, man, if you're a Final Fantasy fan, it's kind of essential you have a PlayStation 5 with everything coming out. Intergrade, Final Fantasy 16, I mean, Endwalker is going to be amazing on the PS5, and then if we got another exclusive on top of that, and then you talk about, you know, is that something that's not Remake Part 2? A lot of moving parts as far as that's concerned. Scarlet Nexus demo is available on Xbox, coming to PS4, PS5 on May 28th, and Ys 9 has gotten a brand new update, fixing some issues and bringing 4K resolution support on PS5. That's going to wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.